you look towards the future. Ivy is, look, he's not Paulo Banchero at the moment, obviously. But the kid's giving you 15, 5, and 4. That is quite impressive given the amount of, I don't want to say mouths you have to feed on the Pistons lineup, but the reality is there's a lot of guys that are going to get up 11, 13, 15 shots, and Ivy is still finding his way into the team. You see a kid struggle early, shoot a ton of threes early on, and then settles down. Great defensive effort, attacks the basket, gets his points, and somehow, some way finds a way to finish with 15.
But you're absolutely right, though, because if you look at the other rookies like Benedict Mathurin or Paulo, their usage rate is so much higher in their own. Like for Jaden Ivey to be playing with another dynamic point guard in Caden, like you said, plenty of mouths to feed. I mean, he's finding a way to fit in. And that's what I love, too. His response to coaching, too. I'm sure he was told, listen, you got to stop settling. You got to start attacking the basket. And he did just that. So I've loved everything I've seen out of Jaden Ivey so far. It looked like, honestly, in the beginning of the game, Adam, it was going to be his worst game so far. And then he turned it around, and he still made something out of it, especially defensively. So that's what I love about Jaden Ivey. He just kept going. He kept coming.
It's an interesting stat. You look at the league leaders in steals per game. Obviously, you have Anunoby, who's averaging 3 a game. It's a little early.
Yeah, right.
But if you were just to kind of level out where Ivy would be, 1.5 steals a game is quite impressive for a rookie. So, again, he's giving you more than you even thought on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Pistons are heading in the right direction.
Right.
I think clearly Troy Weaver has not missed on Jaden Ivey or Cade Cunningham at the moment. There's nothing I've seen that would lead me to believe they've missed. Having said that, Killian Hayes is a problem. And how long do you want me to shut up about it? I'm going to ask you. You know how aggressive I was towards February of last year, towards the deadline?
Right.
Shut up. Let him play 82 games first, and we'll talk about it going into next year, yada, yada, yada.
Well, you could still talk about it.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. And I love Dwayne's quote, by the way, because he talked about it before the game and after the game. He said, if this was a championship team, the leash would be a lot shorter. He goes, but the fact that we're in the stage we're in, he's got a little more room to grow and plenty of opportunities he's going to have this year. So it's not an issue to talk about Killian. I'm going to wait a little bit to really form a true opinion because he's abysmal as of right now. I know he didn't play terrible last game, but just in general on the year, he's been really bad. But again, I'm gonna give it a little time. But you're in the right. If you want to talk about how bad Killian's been, you're not. I don't think it's overreacting, but they're gonna give him the whole year. I don't think he's going to the G League. I don't think he's gonna get traded because his value isn't even high to begin with. So plenty of games left. They got 71 games remaining on the schedule. We'll see if he turns it around or not.
All right, I'm game with it.
But one thing I do want to toot my own horn about.
Go for it.
Jaden Ivey's defense, because that was one thing I kept talking about a lot, and I don't think a lot of people talked about, because especially at Purdue, another thing that me, Kool-Aid, everyone on Woodward Pistons, I bring up in the podcast is, what are you asked to do? And Ivey at Purdue wasn't really asked to be a defender. And coming out of college, 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan, that was the thing I was hammering the table for. Is like, guys, look at his defense. Let's see how that translates. Troy Weaver challenged him to be a better defender. And what he's been doing defensively, Adam, is even more than I expected. But I'm so happy to see it, because that was one thing I had my eyes on for him personally. And he's stepped up to the challenge. He's a hell of a defender. Just had to say that.